Hello and welcome back to Thoughts Unbound. My name is Victoria, and here on this channel we talk about the depths of the human mind and emotions. Today we're going to be talking on an essential topic that some people do tend to struggle from right now, including myself, which is the symptoms of complex PTSD. Or it's going to be the most commonly known symptoms of CPTSD. This is not a complete list. This is not a full list. This is just like the ones that are, typically that you hear about, basically. Okay, so excuse me, I may be looking down a lot. It's just I have a script. If I don't use it, I'm gonna start to babble, and I don't want to do that. So we are gonna go ahead and just jump in. Complex post-traumatic stress disorder, if you did not know, is it's a condition to where it's kind of like post-traumatic stress disorder, but it is prolonged exposure, and most times it is not the way PTSD is, where it's just like that one event. Complex PTSD is typically prolonged exposure to trauma or traumatic events or stressful things, and you don't necessarily have people to deal with or have people to help you get through those times. You typically go through it alone. So that's what complex post-traumatic stress disorder is. So we got that done. Okay, so we are gonna jump right in now. So number one, you re-experience the trauma or the traumatic events. And a favorite quote that I tend to, or that I like to think of when it comes to re-experiencing the trauma is when you have that like flashback, it's not necessarily like you're thinking of yourself being in that same predicament, but it's more so your body reacting to remembering what happened in the past. So it's like you can be automatically triggered by a smell, by somebody seemingly acting the way that you remember a person from your past acted in this type of experience. So you'll tend to run, freeze, which is flight, fawn, which is like you try to act like there's nothing really wrong, but you're losing your mind on the inside. It's like that. And due to coping with the emotions, it's very challenging. So it's what is that saying? I never said it. It's that saying that goes, trauma comes back as a memory, not as a reaction. And that saying is just so true. It's crazy because we're able to kind of hide what we're going through. Yeah, we'll tend to like just disappear though, like real deal. More than likely, that is when we will shut down. And that is typically when you would probably see somebody with complex PTSD or depression or any type of trauma, really. You'll kind of see them like shut down. Like they'll kind of look like they're there, but they're not really there, type of thing. So that is a symptom. You're re-experiencing the memory of it. So that's one. Two, we have emotional dysregulation. This one is it's like you're the best way I can explain it is because this is something that I deal with regularly. It's like you're black and white thinking. There's no gray area. So it's like you if you meet somebody, right, and you guys kind of get along right away. Say maybe like 5-10 minutes goes by and they left. They went to the bathroom or something like that. And for some reason, your mind, it's like you automatically think the worst. You think yes or no, bad or good, happy or sad. Like it's emotional dysregulation. We don't have any control over our emotions. We tend to get very riled up, which to other people will seem like it's a little thing, but to us, because we're remembering, or our body is kind of keeping us like on alert, any little thing that you do or somebody else does, and we see that as something that's reminding us of something that happened in our past, we will blow up, like seriously, or we'll shut down. That's like what I do. I typically shut down. Like it's very like I have a passive aggressive thing, but that's just me. But there are some people who will literally probably blow up, and I do that too. So that's number two. Number three, avoidance and isolation. Yeah. Number three symptom is avoidance and isolation. Survivors may try to escape reminders of their traumatic past, which can lead them to withdrawing from friends, family, and activities they once enjoyed. The isolation can exacerbate feelings of loneliness and worsen the emotional impact of complex PTSD. I am currently living in that realm right now. I've been kind of in the realm of isolation and avoidance for probably about like a good year now, going on like a year and a half. I don't have any friends, truthfully. I only have my dad. I did have friends, but I feel like I don't really, I'm not a good friend right now in this time. And I don't feel like I should be putting any of that on anybody, you know? And I don't want to be ignoring people and them calling me and I'm not picking up, and you know, they kind of, because the thing with complex PTSD survivors is we are taught when we're young that we are burdens. We are taught that we are treated as though we are burdens. If something is bothering us, we never really had that chance to go to somebody and talk to them, or have somebody come to us and be like, no, you know, it's fine, like don't worry about it. Like, and even if it's not fine, we never had anybody that really came in and just acknowledged us in that time of where we're like going back and forth in our mind and think like, is it me or you? Like, we didn't really have anybody, so we get used to that isolation. That avoidance comes in when we are afraid of potentially putting ourselves through another traumatic event, and that's like a no. No. It's a no. Number 4 we have here is negative self-perception, which is very low self-esteem, self-sabotage in a way. Yeah, that one. Yeah, negative self perception I will put with self-sabotage. Okay, so when it comes to the negative, survivors may develop a negative self-image, feeling guilt, shame, or worthlessness as if they somehow are responsible for the trauma that they endured. This persistent negative self-perception can hinder personal growth and recovery. This one is, damn, all of these are like just spot. Okay. It's like, I don't want to keep saying, oh, I'm like this one, I'm like that. This is just complex PTSD survivors. Okay, so if you got it, you know what I'm talking about. We agree, or we're like, yes, that's me. Yep, that too. Negative self-perception. That is exactly what I said before. There's a lot of shame that comes with being or having complex PTSD, because most of your trauma is rooted in your childhood. So, and it's more than likely going to be from a guardian, whether it's your parents, your grandmother, your aunts, just anybody that is supposed to be looking after you. That's typically where it starts. And if the fact that we didn't really have anybody to, you know, come and hug us if something was wrong, or they see us cry, like somebody would come just hug us and kiss us and say, you know, whatever, or let's go somewhere. It's just like we had to deal with things by ourselves. And then when you spend that amount of time by yourself, knowing that the person that is supposed to be taking care of you is not really happy with you at this time, you will begin to turn it on yourself, because one, you're a kid. Two, you're still trying to get to know the world. You don't know what's going on. People don't really seem to like you. People don't really want to be around you. So, and then whenever you are there, you're kind of just like disregarded in a sense, or like it's like you turn it on yourself, that negative self-perception. And when you're spending that much time alone and nobody is there to kind of be like that wall for you to not overthink and to think that you are the problem, if there's no wall that's there, you're just going to automatically push yourself off that ledge, and you will become the problem, even though you're not in, you know, real life. But you're a kid and you're having to go through this all by yourself, so you think like, I have to be the problem. Like, I have to be the problem. Like, who else is it? Because it's just me, you know? So that's kind of where it's rooted. The next one we have here is hyperarousal and hypervigilance. These are two more symptoms of complex PTSD. Survivors may always be on edge, expecting danger, and even in seemingly safe situations, this constant state of alertness can lead to sleep disturbances, difficulty concentrating, and physical tension. Me, I don't really have as much hyperarousal. Mine is more hypervigilance. Like I'm always studying, or like I'm aware of my surroundings, but I'm more aware of the way that I'm thinking of myself. Truthfully, I think it's a complex PTSD can come off as like a vain condition, but the only reason why it's vain is because we're trying to figure out what it is that we're doing that makes other people act the way that they act. So we're thinking it has to be us. So not only are we paying attention to you, but we're also paying attention to ourselves. But the thing is, we don't even know how we're really feeling. It's really just confusing as hell. Complete. I'm so serious. It's like hypervigilance is just like you are completely you cannot relax. You cannot relax. You may seem like you relaxed, and you maybe can't sleep at night. That's probably like when you're up a lot is at night. Hyperarousal is when you can, or basically when anybody can really scare you, like, and I'm not saying like you go around the corner and somebody just shock shit out you. Like, yeah, it could be that too. But I'm saying, like, if you're in a house with somebody and you know that they're in the house and they come in the kitchen and they scare the shit out of you, like that. It's like, your body is always alert. It's always alert. It's always alert. And it's never seemed to really calm down. Or whenever you are calmed down, it's when you are completely alone. But when somebody else is there, even if it's like your family, you are definitely on edge. I'll say that. And the next one we have here is difficulty with trust. Difficulty with trust. Trusting others can become incredibly challenging for individuals with CPTSD. Due to their past traumas, they may struggle to form new relationships and may even find it hard to trust those they were once close to. This difficulty with trust can hinder their ability to seek support and healing. Difficulty with trust. I can't trust people. I haven't been able to trust people. I got diagnosed on May 1st of 2021. I'm currently 28. I'm turning 29 next week. And I was 25, I believe, when I got diagnosed. Yeah, 25. And it made a lot of sense because I noticed that I just was not able to, like if you have a job, like I was at a job for 4 years and I don't talk to any of my coworkers. And when I was there, I loved them, and they loved me. And it was a good relationship that I had there with the employees. Like I was a shift manager, I was at a fast food joint. And the thing it is, I don't really know what it is, but trusting is a very difficult, because you have to, the best way I can say it is you're a kid and you're with your parents or you're with your guardian, whatever. And those are the people that you learn to trust first, But when you are kind of disregarded or have parents who are emotionally immature, not very stable, it's kind of hard for you to grow up trusting people because you couldn't even trust your guardians, And due to that, you will not have many close relationships. You won't. Like yeah. I have a video that shows, like, it gives like a rundown of like my stuff if you wanted to watch it. It's I will link it in the description. Okay. But the next one we have here is, hold on, the impact on your daily life. It goes to the avoidance, the isolation, the negative self-perception. You will never really think that somebody likes you for you. You would always kind of think that they're with you because of something, they want something from you. Growing up, that's what it always was. Like, people pretended to be interested in you or pretended to care about you, and when they got what they wanted, it just wasn't really, nothing left there, And then plus, when you're so used to that, that's when the self-sabotage comes in. So even if you do end up getting somebody that is interested in you, at the very least, they're interested in you. Like they do like you. They do want to be friends with you. They do want to hang out with you. They do want to get to know you. But because you're so used to that treatment, you self-sabotage it, because you're like, you'll start to get kind of like passive aggressive, or at least that's how I am. I become very passive aggressive if if something the person does reminds me of something, reminds me of somebody from my past. The thing is that with me, I'm pretty sure, well, I can't say for sure, but with me, I tend to treat or turn everybody that I meet now into the person or the people that hurt me then. So no matter what, I always turn them into the person that caused the trauma, or they played a part in my trauma. So it's like my body will never necessarily feel comfortable, and because of that, my mind is listening to my body. We're connected, you know? So it's like I won't, even if I feel like I'm becoming vulnerable with somebody, full stop. Full stop. Like, I'll delete your number. I will, when you call, I won't answer. It's a very passive aggressive thing. I'm still working on that. That's something that I still do deal with. Well, I don't anymore now because I don't really have any money. So yeah, there's that. To finish off the video, complex PTSD is a treatable condition. It's not something that is untreatable. What I will say, it is something that you will have to deal with for the rest of your life. The thing about it is, when they say treatable, I think what they're saying is there are healthy ways and healthier coping mechanisms that you can use instead of the isolation and self-sabotage and the hypervigilance. Like, there are ways that you can learn to deal with your triggers, you know, whatever that may be. You can deal with it. You just have to believe that you can deal with it. It's simple as that. Well, it's not that simple, but you get what I'm saying. But yeah, if you do know anybody that is going through complex PTSD, what I can say is just, you know, be patient with them, and don't take them being quiet or not talking to you as disrespect, even though you will probably feel like that is what it is. It's really not. It's just they're triggered, and if that's something that you cannot deal with, just let them know. That will actually, I feel like, damage that person that much more, you know. I mean, if you just, it's still your choice at the end of the day. But that's just thank you so much for joining me on Thoughts Unbound. Those are a few of the symptoms, or the most commonly symptoms for complex PTSD. If you did enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and share with somebody if you know anybody that wants it or this could help. And as well as, if you would like to see more videos, please go ahead and subscribe and comment down below if you have any ideas or any videos that you would like for me to touch upon. I will definitely do so. Okay, so yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I got you as long as you got me. Until then.